Alright, boys and girls, welcome to Conan Guitar. We have Conan Gray here. He's been with us many times, and if you're a fan of him, make sure you subscribe to the channel. He will be back for sure. This time we'll focus on holidays, alright? So, a sweet, great song from Conan Gray. Let's go into this one. And we are going clean here, no need for capo here. And we have four chords, the C, F, A minor, and G. Let's look at it, starting with C. All right, so that will be third on A, second on D, open G, first B, and open E. We have F, which is a bar chord, where you place the index finger on the first fret and you cover all strings there. Then you need to add third on A, third on D, and second on G. We have A minor next. So A minor goes open A, second D, second G, first B, and open E. And then finally we have the G. And that will be third on E, second on A, open D, open G, third B, and third E. Okay, so this song is a piano-based song, so that is a little bit different when it comes to how to play. But we will listen for a strumming pattern that starts a little bit later in the song, in the background, and that strumming pattern is what we're gonna use to handle this entire song, all right? So let's start with the strumming, and if you grab the first chord, which will be a C, one string around will be like this. Okay, so that is basically to play two downs first, and then up, down, up. First down, I would like to play a little more on the bass strings to really set the chord there. And then the second down, I go down a little bit on the higher strings. And then I continue there in the higher mid area and play up, down, up. So down, down, up, down, up. And you can start to just play two downs and then up, down, up. And then once you get comfortable with that, you can try to separate where you're playing on the strings. So it's perfectly fine. That is one string around, down, down, up, and that's what we're gonna use through the entire song here. Now let's go into the verse play. So we have, starting with C, one string around, then F, one, and C, two. That part you play for two rounds, so C1, F1, and C2. Again, C1. Okay, so we're about half in now in the verse still. You're gonna play next C1, F1, A minor 1, G1, and then F2, like this. And then you end with the same as you started, C1, F1, and C2. And that's the end of the verse. Now, you're gonna play this for two rounds. So that was just one round. And I believe that's not two separate verses, actually. I believe that's still one round in the verse, okay? So two rounds of all that we played, and just to summarize it, it was C1, F1, and C2 for two rounds, then C1, F1, A minor 1, G1, F2, and then C1, F1, and C2. All of that you play for two rounds, and that will be the first verse, okay? And then we will have the chorus parts, all my youth, that's where we are in the lyrics. You're gonna play now G2, A minor 2, F2, and C2. That's the first half, you can say. And then the second half will be very similar. It will be G2, A minor 2, F2, starting the same, but the last chord will be G2, okay? So that's the chorus, and we'll have a final part in the chorus still. I'm gonna come to that, but first let's go over the thing we just went through here, the G2, then A minor 2, starting is G2. Okay, so that was that, and then we have a finished part still in the chorus, which will be to play as in the verse C1, F1, and C2. And we do that for 2 rounds. So that was the chorus. So just to summarize that one, we had 2 very similar rounds. We had G2, A minor 2, F2, and C2 in the first round, and then G2, A minor 2, F2, and G2 in the second round. And then we had just a finished part, which will be C1, F1, C2 for 2 rounds. You're gonna play that, and that will be the first chorus. All right. Then you go back to play the second round here, the second verse. It's played in the same way, but just half as long. Only 1 round of all of that we played. We had 2 rounds in the first verse, now just 1 round. And the second chorus will play in exact same way as the first one. So no changes there in the second chorus. After that, we have a bridge part. It comes in about 2 minutes and 40 seconds in. This is a whistling part, a whistling melody. And what you're going to play here is to play the verse play for 1 round. So the second verse, you can say you play that throughout this bridge part, and that's the bridge. Then final part of the song, that will be the third chorus, and you play that in the same way as you play the previous choruses there for 1 round. And yeah, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this from Conan Gray Holidays. And yeah, if you want to support me, then the best way is to subscribe to this channel. If you have done that already, then feel free to thumb up this tutorial, and see you next time. Till then, play tune.